This is my 2018 RadRover, also known as Rover 1. We have explored the backcountry together. The 750 watt motor has taken me in and out of traffic, pushed me through snow and ice. The 180 millimeter disc brakes have taken me to the edge of the Mississippi and back, to the middle of somewhere, to the middle of nowhere, to the middle of the wetlands. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've taken our breaks, only to touch the ground. This is for the long trail, the no trail, the smooth trail, and the memories we leave on the trail. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the glare on my glasses. Today is going to be a packed video, and I need my glasses to read the notes that I got on the screen about what I have. Got a little bit of mail here, and I have a little bit of mail, and this is what I have been waiting on. Let's get into it. Oh, you know, this would be a great time for me to have a knife, but I don't, so let's rip into a cannibal style, right? Christmas time. So, what we have here, this is a RadRover video if you didn't know. This is a RadRover upgrade video. And the upgrade that we are doing, brakes with bling brakes. Bow. What I have here are, I got enough bolts to go. I got enough screws to go around here. What I have are the Hope floating. Let me get that right. What I have here are the Hope floating floats. I have one in 180 millimeters, and the other one is 203. Guess which one is the front and back? So this is definitely going to be an upgrade for the type of riding that I do. But when I was out in my St. Joe video, and I was going down those inclines, and the way that the bike wasn't grabbing, and the brakes weren't grabbing, and it's not just that downhill that concerned me. There's been other times when, you know, I'm holding the brake as hard as I can, and then you can still push it, and it still has some slippage in there, which is a little concerning because the wheels don't lock up the way that I want. Not that locking up the wheels is a great thing, but if the brakes aren't strong enough to lock the wheels up, then are they really strong enough to really keep me at a controllable speed when I'm at a decline with all of my camping gear on it? I mean, you know, it felt pretty good, but again, I had some concerns. But these are my brake. These are my rotors. This one here I opened up already. When I received it, it didn't feel right. And what I mean by it didn't feel right, let's jump into it. Let's just get everything on the table. Forget pulling everything out. Let's get everything out. All right. This is a 203 adapter for my 203 rim rotor. Just toss it up to the front. These are some cable I guess these would be, hey, it's written on here. Cable ends. So these are cable ends when I have to take them off my bike to get it going. These are the these are my new brakes. Juin Tech R1s. I know people are out there saying you shouldn't have the R1s, you should have the M1. Well, let me explain why I went with the R1 versus the M1. Everything that I can find online, about the M1 really didn't, there was no definitive proof that there was anything different between the M1 and the R1. They used the same brakes, and they weigh the same. It was nothing that said that the other one was more heavy dutier than the other, besides marketing. So these are the Juin Tech R1s in blue. They're going to go really well with my orange rotors. Oh, it's going to look real good. It's going to look real good. Can't wait to get these on the bike. So this video is kind of a three-part deal. This, so I'm really not going to get into the specs of any of these. There's a lot of videos out there that go into how much these things weigh and what the benefits are to floating brakes versus a solid brake and all that good stuff. So I'm not going into that. There are a ton of videos. Well, there's actually not a ton of videos with the Juin Tech hybrid calipers. So my goal with this is going to really demonstrate how they work. Because out of all of the videos that are out there, I haven't seen one that actually dives into the performance of the brake, showing the demonstration of it. And I know everyone that's watching those videos really want to see what these can do, especially on a heavy bike. So without further ado, let's start the upgrades. Sorry. Without further ado, let's jump into a baseline. See, everyone's watching. Let's see what the hell that is. I know what the hell that is. I'm just going to have to take it. This is the spot that I'm taking. This is the spot that I'm taking. From here to here is 25 feet. I have another 25 feet, but I didn't bring out the right lens, of course, and I swear my camera is crooked. I don't know what a fair speed. Well, this is an e-bike, so we're going. I'm gonna get down to this trash can. I have to say that's at least 75, 100 feet down. And I'm doing this downhill. Ooh, slick. I didn't go back far enough for that. All right, so tip number one. What was that grinding though? What was that grind? Yeah, that grind. Okay. What the fuck is that grinding? All right, hit it. Okay. About 18 miles an hour. Okay. That's right around, I'll measure that out. 25 feet was the first post, and it's about another yard at the second post. So this is probably about 28 feet. I am working these Shimano's today, or these Tetris. All right, let's get it. Had to lock it up, and I still went past everything on that. I'm gonna figure out how to fix that, and maybe those new brakes will help that out. We'll find out. After doing all that testing, my adrenaline is still pumping from it. The upgrades were easy, relatively painless. I only had one issue, and that was with some spacing with the fork and the rotor itself. Check it out. When you tighten it up, there is no clearance in between the mount and the rotor there. So I am going to go back with a 180. Now, backing it up, the top part of the rotor, the braking surface itself, is the same size as the other rotor, minus the wear. But it's it's this metal part here, the aluminum part here, which is thicker, and that is causing me a problem. So I can do one of two things. I'm gonna do some research first. I can either further void the warranty. Warranty on this thing is shot already, by taking a grinder to it, or I can go back with a 180. With another 180. We'll figure that out. The only other issue that I have, and it's small, but that issue is with, it's not even an issue, I can't say it's an issue, it's just something to be aware of if you get floating brakes. And it comes in two parts. Well, it's one solid piece when you get it, but it's made up of three parts really. You have the mount, you have the piece that holds the actual brake onto the mount. So in being that it floats, it's supposed to help cool off, distribute heat better that way, so they perform better that way. But note, they have the tendency to rattle a little bit, especially at slower speeds. They have a tendency to rattle a little bit, and they can get maybe a little annoying. You're definitely not going to sneak up on anybody doing that. So that's the only two things I can say negative about that. The Juin Tech's R1s performed not that I was real scientific out in the field. Let's jump into the testing of the Juin text, and I'll show you the results that I came up with.
Oh yeah, this is it.
With all of the upgrades finally installed, it's only one thing left to do. So let's do a quick safety check, make sure everything is true, get it tightened up, and let's roll. Overall, you can see that the performance in between the Juin text and the stock Tetros brakes are pretty similar. Note that in the second video, the second round of the hard braking with the Juin text, I did have the fork locked out. I did lock out the fork in with the regular brakes as well, or the stock brakes as well, and they were right about. They were still right about even. So the performance, as far as braking distance with the two brakes, really didn't change much. What did change is that the Juin text were smooth. The braking distribution, I guess, the pressure applied to the rotors itself was smoother. I can't really, since it's just a hybrid hydraulic, and I haven't used a full hydraulic system, so I can't really say that when squeezing the clutches, if it took less force to do it or not. I really couldn't tell you. I didn't really, I didn't notice. I didn't notice that much, but I did notice that it was a lot smoother. And maybe just a little bit when just easing into braking, it was a little easier just on the touches, you know, maybe just a little bit. It's a fine difference there. It's not a full hydraulic, so you're not going to get that. But those are the results, man. And you judge for yourself. Is it worth the $130 that you're going to pay for these brakes? You know, I can't necessarily say yes, but I can't say no either. They look good. They do work. With the testing that I did to them, they didn't fail, but I only put like 50 miles on them too. And all the miles that I put on them were hard braking or, you know, regular commuting. I went to the park, rode to the park. You know, I did some very deep, some very steep hills. And you saw the braking test, and I rode it through water, and it is loud riding through the water. Just take a listen. Wow. Thanks for joining me on this episode. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. There's a lot of information that I'm putting out, camping, RadRover stuff. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.